How your brain decides to trust a stranger. Imagine you're walking home late at night. A stranger smiles at you. Your brain has less than 1 second to answer a life-changing question. Can this person be trusted, or are they dangerous? What's incredible is that your brain makes this decision before you're even aware of it. Without asking permission, without conscious thought, it rapidly scans hundreds of tiny clues hidden in a person's face, voice, movement, and even the environment around you. And surprisingly, your brain gets it wrong more often than you think. Today, we'll explore the fascinating neuroscience behind how your brain decides whether to trust a complete stranger and why that instinct can both save your life and completely fool you. The moment you meet someone new, your eyes aren't just looking, they're collecting data. Within milliseconds, your visual system begins analyzing facial expressions, eye movements, posture, clothing, and body language. Almost instantly, this information reaches a small almond-shaped structure inside your brain called the amygdala. The amygdala acts like an emotional security scanner. It doesn't ask, "Who is this?" Instead, it asks, "Should I be worried?" This ancient survival system evolved long before modern civilization. Thousands of years ago, recognizing a dangerous stranger quickly could mean the difference between life and death. Even today, your brain still runs this ancient program. Before you've heard someone's name, before you've shaken their hand, your brain has already started forming an opinion. Human faces contain an astonishing amount of information. Your brain notices tiny details you never consciously see. A genuine smile activates muscles around both the mouth and the eyes. Fake smiles often involve only the lips. Your brain has become surprisingly good at detecting the difference. Eye contact also matters. Too little eye contact may appear evasive. Too much can feel intimidating. The brain constantly searches for balance. Even the symmetry of a face, head movements, blinking speed, and subtle emotional expressions influence trust. What's amazing is that these judgments happen in less than half a second. But here's the catch. These rapid decisions aren't always accurate. A friendly-looking face doesn't guarantee kindness, and someone with a nervous expression may simply be anxious, not dangerous. Your brain is making educated guesses, not reading minds. Trust isn't built from appearance alone. Your memory quickly joins the decision. The hippocampus begins searching through years of stored experiences. Have you met someone who looked similar before? Did they help you or hurt you? Sometimes you trust a stranger because they remind you of a beloved teacher. Sometimes you distrust a stranger because they resemble a person who once betrayed you. Most of this happens below conscious awareness. Your brain constantly compares the present with the past. This process is called pattern recognition. It's incredibly useful, but it also creates unconscious biases. The stranger standing in front of you isn't always being judged for who they are. Sometimes they're being judged for who they remind you of. Trust isn't only psychological, it's chemical. One of the most famous chemicals involved is oxytocin. Often called the bonding hormone, oxytocin plays an important role in social connection. When people experience kindness, cooperation, or genuine warmth, oxytocin levels can increase. This helps reduce fear and encourages social bonding. Meanwhile, another chemical, dopamine, rewards positive social experiences. If a stranger behaves predictably and respectfully, your brain may begin releasing dopamine, reinforcing the feeling that this person is safe. But stress changes everything. When cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, rises during fear or anxiety, trusting others becomes much more difficult. That's why someone who feels relaxed at a cafe may trust a stranger far more easily than someone walking alone in a dark parking lot. The same stranger, different environment, completely different brain response. Imagine meeting someone in 3 different places: at a hospital, at a birthday party, and in an empty alley at midnight. The person hasn't changed, but your brain's judgment certainly has. Your brain constantly compares social signals with environmental information. Bright lighting, familiar surroundings, and the presence of other people generally reduce perceived danger. Isolation, darkness, and uncertainty increase it. Psychologists call this contextual processing. Your brain rarely judges people in isolation. Instead, it asks, is this situation safe? Sometimes the environment influences trust even more than the person does. Our brains evolved to make fast decisions, not perfect ones. This creates several mental shortcuts called cognitive biases. One is the halo effect. If someone appears attractive or confident, we often assume they're also honest. Another is confirmation bias. Once we decide someone is trustworthy, we unconsciously notice information that supports that belief, while ignoring warning signs. Con artists understand this surprisingly well. Many successful scammers don't look suspicious. They look familiar, friendly, helpful, exactly the type of person your brain wants to trust. That's why critical thinking remains essential. Your instincts are powerful, but they're not infallible. Every day, your brain performs one of its most extraordinary balancing acts. It must remain open enough to build friendships, yet cautious enough to protect you from danger. Every handshake, every smile, every first conversation triggers millions of neurons working together to answer one simple question: can I trust this person? Most of the time, your brain does an incredible job, but understanding how that process works reminds us of something important. Trust is not a switch, it's a prediction, one shaped by biology, experience, emotion, and sometimes by mistakes. The next time you meet someone new, remember your brain has already made its first guess, long before you realize you've made one yourself.